Hello guys, welcome to Wrist. I'm your host. In today's video I want to give you a quick guide on how to inspect a luxury watch, and today I'll use a 7-year-old Rolex Yacht-Master 40 to show you what sort of things you should watch out for when buying a luxury timepiece. You need to remember that these things are quite expensive, so you might think that you get a nice deal on the watch. However, once you inspect the watch thoroughly, you might actually find some problems with it. So this guide is meant for people who are buying their first, second or third luxury watch, because I know that as much as you are going into luxury watches, your knowledge will be fine and you won't need any tips from anyone on the internet. Let's get started. This watch has a stainless steel bracelet, stainless steel case and also a platinum bezel. The very first thing you need to know how to differentiate is softness of steel compared to the softness of the platinum. The very first thing I would focus on in this watch is actually checking the bezel for any scratches or dents, because each and every single one will be more difficult to rectify compared to bracelet and case, which are relatively easy to fix. Let's have a close-up look at the bezel. From the first glance I cannot see any big dents, chips or anything. There are some really minor and small scratches. There is something to the triangle which I do believe can be rectified, so nothing deep, nothing big that I should be worried about or you should be worried about when you saw a bezel like this. I think that's all good. I am happy with that. So the next important bit is the glass that's sitting in this watch. This one is a sapphire crystal, which is really resistant to scratches and dents. However, if you knock this watch hard enough, then you'll see scratches or dents. It's all relative to how well you treat your watches. Focus on this loop here called Cyclops. This is a magnifying loop, so you can see date wheel a bit better. I think the magnification on that is around 2.5 times, 2 times I think. Watch out for any scratches, anything that might be imperfect. I can see that nothing is on it, so let's have a look at the glass. Look at the edges. You can feel the glass and see if there is anything on it. The very useful thing that I always use for inspecting watches that I buy is a simple magnifying loupe with a nice LED light. They cost around £15 and you can get them from eBay, Amazon, and they are just about right, and you'll be able to see all sorts of imperfections on the watch. So I cannot find any scratches or dent, which is a good sign, because big things you can spot after a few seconds. I don't think there is anything. Moving forward, check your bracelet. There you go, you can see surface scratches. However, normal scratches are okay. The watch is 7 years old, so don't expect these watches to be brand new. Don't worry if you can see some small scratches. Most of them can be polished out, so you don't really have to worry too much. I cannot see anything too bad. When you buy your watches, make sure it comes with all factory links. I had to remove a couple of links so it wouldn't have 12. Have a look at the bracelet, make sure you are happy with it. There is always a risk of buying a genuine Rolex watch with aftermarket fake bracelet. However, there are actually good forums with comparison of fake versus genuine bracelets. If you have a big experience with handling watches, then you will be able to spot a fake bracelet by touching it and looking at the edges. If they are too sharp, then it's not too good. If the weight is off, then you'll be able to tell, and also the mechanics of the whole bracelet would be off compared to the original. Just feel how this watch clicks. Fake watches wouldn't have this nice and Rolex quality clicks and sounds, and it wouldn't work as smoothly as on this example here. So I think the bracelet is okay. It's not over polished. You can see this nice Rolex logo on it. Yeah, Rolex, Geneva, Swiss made. You can also spot fake bracelet, fake clasp should I say, by these markings. However, if you are inexperienced, go through some Rolex forums and there are some nice threads on all the markings all the signage on the clasps and bracelets, so that's a really good guidance towards buying a genuine watch. Next thing is check the dial, if the watch was in good hands and whether it was serviced by a really experienced watchmaker or someone who left out some dust underneath the case or whatever. Take a really close look. It's really important as you are buying into really expensive watches. The next thing is to check the quality and state of the case back. It's really clean, there are no dents, no major signs of wear, because you would be able to spot significant amount of scratches if the watch wasn't kept properly, meaning someone could have kept it on its back like this, which is inappropriate way of handling your watch. When you don't wear your watches, always leave them like this on the side by your bedside table or in a proper travel case. Any case is fine, just put it in safely and then you can avoid scratching the case back, scratching the bracelet. Another thing is to test all the functions of the watch. So when you unscrew the crown, then you'll be at the first position, which is winding. Have a look if it sounds okay to you, if there's any bigger resistance to your winding. If not, then it's all good. First pull of the crown will be date setting. Yeah, there you go, it's working fine. So now you can go to the third setting, which is basically your minute and hour setting. Go through the midnight to check whether the date advances perfectly from 12 o'clock onwards. See, it went perfectly from 12 o'clock. Some of the movements might have some small problems and they need adjusting. For example, if the date will start to change from 9 o'clock onwards, then it's not a good thing. You should actually go to Rolex to have it adjusted, and if your watch is under warranty, you wouldn't incur any fees. It would have been done free of charge. So yeah, play with your watch and make sure you are happy with it. Before the first setting of the watch, always read through the manual to make sure you're unscrewing the crown properly, you are then winding correctly and then setting all the functions, because if you are not treating the watch properly, then you might incur some damage. Okay, let's set it back, that's all fine. Screw it back, so push and then screw it back in place. Always make sure the crown is screwed back when you want to wear it. This watch is resistant to around 100 meters, meaning you can safely swim with this watch on your wrist like so. There you go, just hook it back on the wrist, yeah, where it belongs. Make sure you're happy with all the features of the watch. In my opinion, the main thing is condition of the bezel. This watch has a platinum bezel, it's not stainless steel, so any scratches, any chips, any dents will be more visible and they are easier to incur. However, as for the 7-year-old watch, I am really happy with its condition. If I wanted to bring it back to like new condition, then of course I would have to have it polished. However, if you are going to wear the watch anyway, in my opinion, it's a waste of money. In this case, you can enjoy the watch properly. I think it's a nice example of a Rolex Yacht-Master 40 reference. That's the old reference without the crown between Swiss and May. That's the 116622, blue dial, red hand, red Yacht-Master inscription. Beautiful sunburst dial. Make sure that the serial number that is engraved at 6 o'clock, the inner side of the case, corresponds to the serial number that will be on your original papers. Okay, double check that. Rolex papers, they account for 30% of the value of this watch. Make sure the papers are genuine and then papers correspond to the serial number that is either inside if the watch is fairly recent or in between the lugs at 6 o'clock. So you'd have to remove the bracelet from the watch and then check the serial number and make sure it corresponds to the one that is on the watch. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful. Please like, subscribe to Seen Through Wrist and stay tuned for more. Bye.